Good morning, church. We're going to have a little question and answer session this morning, and we hope that maybe we're going to answer some of the questions that you might have. Pastor Dan, good morning.
Good morning, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Feels like spring outside.
It does. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Just beautiful. We'll enjoy it.
Yes. Well, I have a few questions I thought maybe you could answer.
Sure.
The first one is, what prompted the change in Sunday worship?
Well, obviously, the rising numbers with the COVID crisis, the idea that hospitals are filling up again, and that there is great concern from hospital staffs that they're being overcrowded. That's kind of a practical reason that we're looking at making some changes, at least temporarily. But also from a perspective of Christian faith, we want to do the very best that we can do to make sure that people know that this is a place that is safe. It's a place that's not going to put them in danger. I'm a pretty cautious guy. I'm a pretty conservative guy. And I want to make sure that when we do worship or when we do anything in the life of the church, that it's safe for people. I know a lot of our people are in kind of that target range that's a very dangerous range right now in a very dangerous time. So we want to be as careful as we can be. So for the next 3 weeks, as our governor or the state government has recommended, we're going to not do in-person worship, but we're going to do a time at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings where we stream our worship to everyone. They can watch it live. And we know this is not the same thing, but we hope this is a way of staying connected to them. And, you know, one of the big things, Tracy, that has affected me is that in the first round, when we were up in Gaylord and we did the same sort of thing, at that time, I didn't know anyone who had caught COVID and who was in the hospital from it. This is different. I have family members now who have caught it. I have clergy friends who have been hospitalized. One that I know very well, and she spent 2 weeks in the Port Huron Hospital with this. And unfortunately, we also had someone on our district, a district clergy person, who passed away with COVID. So there's a deep sense of concern right now, and we're just trying to do the very best we can do with the safest that we can do. And at the same time, we understand how important worship is, and it breaks our heart because we know Easter was taken from people in the way we normally do it. I mean, Easter still happened. Christ, we still celebrated his resurrection. But it didn't feel the same. And we know there's frustration with Christmas may turn out to be something very similar. We know there's just fatigue with this right now. I'm tired of looking like a cowboy all the time. So we're asking everyone to hang in with us, keep moving forward, and we will keep making decisions and communicating those decisions week after week, and we'll do our very best in as many formats as possible to let people know what's going on and what decisions are being made.
Okay, great. How would we watch that Sunday morning worship?
We will be able to get it on YouTube, and do you remember what our YouTube call letters are right now?
I think it's Swartz Creek UMC. I think if you look that up, that will take you to our YouTube page.
And there's also a link on our webpage, the church webpage.
Yes.
That they can go, and I think it's a green link, and you go down to the bottom and it says live stream and archive or something like that.
Yes, if you go to the home page on the webpage, scroll down and you will see a green button that says live stream and archives. If you tap that button, it should take you to the YouTube page. If it's live, then it will actually come up with the live service. If we're not live at that point, you can watch any of the older services.
Okay, very good. So we're hopeful that will reach into people's lives still. And as we have the new equipment that we have, and we're still figuring out things about it, but it's really coming along. Brian doesn't want me to say good job, Brian, so I won't say that. But good job, Brian. The picture I think people are going to find is clearer than it used to be when we just used phones, and the sound is going to be better. So again, we say be patient with us as we make adjustments on that, but we're getting to the point where that's going to be a very good broadcast.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I've been hearing something about these mini worships. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. I hurt with folks because I know that worship is very important to them. And I know not everybody can stream. I know there's all kinds of things going on in our world, and we don't want to add to people's frustrations. So I got to thinking, as I saw this coming, as announcements came last Sunday that were basically the sort of things I thought we probably would hear, and then the bishop sent out his announcement on Monday. I've been thinking, what are things that we can do? Well, one of the things that is being shared with us is to gather in numbers of 10 or less and still do distance and still be we got to be really, really strict about masks and making sure noses and mouths are covered. And I'm going to ask people to not just sit the 6 feet apart. We're going to have them sit even a little bit further apart. But what we're going to do is at least right now the schedule would be Tuesday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., Wednesday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., and Thursday night at 6 p.m., and we'll probably do the Thursday night one in Murbach. We're going to have mini worships, which is going to mean the ceiling is 10 people, so we're going to have to take reservations, and we'll get to that in a second about reservations. And we're going to worship together. We're going to have a time where at least when we start out, we're probably not going to be singing because there's some questions about singing. But we're going to listen to some music on Spotify. We're going to meditate upon that Christian music, ask the Holy Spirit to work among us. Then we're going to pray together. And our prayer life is going to look a little bit different than it does on a normal Saturday night or Sunday morning. We're going to do what we used to call popcorn prayers. I'll just start us out with prayer, and then we'll allow each person, since it's a small group, we can do this. And have each person share out loud a prayer or prayers that they would like us to pray for. So we're going to spend some intentional time in prayer. Then we're going to take the notes of the sermon of the week before. And always with a sermon, I know it doesn't seem this way, but I do edit it and shorten it, and I have to cut things out and so on. We're going to be able to take a longer time, have everyone bring their Bibles, and we're going to look at the notes and the text. They will hear a few things that they heard on Sunday morning on the stream, but we're going to explore some other things. And when I do that, I also like to have them, if they've got a good study Bible, there will be some verses that will say, hey, what does verse 23 in your study Bible say? Let's hear from the scholars that wrote your Bibles, and we'll share some information. I foresee that going about an hour, might be a little more, might be a little less. And it gives us a chance to worship together. It gives us a chance to see each other. We won't, even get probably this close, but you can wave, you can say hello, you can have some interactions. And even though it's not quite the same, it will provide some opportunities for us to get together and worship. If we get a really good turnout of over 60 people that want to be part in this, I'll be looking at some ways to expand the amount of services that we have. And hopefully in time we can even expand the numbers a little bit safely. But we will be very, very careful and very prudent about how we do that.
So how would we sign up for these mini worships?
The way that we're signing up, because we are obviously going to have to do reservations to keep it at that ceiling of 10, is we're going to invite people to call the church office or to respond to the emails they receive from Kim and Laurel. They can respond right back to them.
Okay.
Kim and Laurel God bless them, they're dutifully putting together a chart and trying to direct people to the times that are open. And once a segment, and we're already receiving calls because we sent that email out this week. So once a segment is closed, we close it down. And if someone says, hey, I'd like to be Tuesday at 2 and it's closed, we're just politely, kindly saying, is there another time we could put you in? And we're just asking everyone to please be patient with us. You might not get the first time. We will work with you as much as we can. But once we get 10, we have to close that segment down so that we can be safe.
And do you want people to keep the same time each week?
Yes, great question. For simplicity's sake, the month of December, if you sign up for a Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we would like you to stay Tuesday at 2 o'clock the whole time, so that we just had someone almost walk in, so nothing like live. If you sign up for Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we would like you to stay Tuesday at 2 o'clock for the month of December, just because we can't keep scheduling everyone every week.
Right.
When we get midway through December, we're going to look. The governor's going to give us an update. The bishop is going to give us an update. We're going to make adjustments as we can based on what we're told. The hard thing, and maybe it's the easy thing too, I'm no expert on this. Tracy, you probably don't feel like you're an expert on this. I know we all have a lot of opinions, but for now, from my point of view, we have to trust what the people that are the most qualified are telling us to do,
Yes.
even if we don't like it.
Yes.
And I know it's a hard time. I know there's disagreement about all these things, but the best choice I feel we can make is to do what the people that study this stuff are saying we need to try to do, because I would feel terrible if something bad happens.
Absolutely. So I hope this helped everyone, but if you have questions, please call the office. Don't, put comments on Facebook. It's better to go straight to the source, call the office, get your questions answered. If you have questions about the youth, call Brian. If you have questions about children, please call me. We're here to answer any of your questions. I know this is a confusing time, so we're, here to help, and we just want to pass along love and caring to everyone, and hopefully this helped, and we hope you have a great day.
Can I
Yes,
say just
absolutely.
Can I say just a couple other things? This is free airtime, right, Brian? Okay. I've been saying this to you folks the whole time. I said it to the folks in Gaylord before I left, and in the last few months we were there. We've never been through something like this before. So there isn't a diagram on how to do this correctly. So I've told you, I've admitted to you, we're making it up as we go along, doing the very best we can do. I've asked you to keep praying for us, and I'm going to ask you that again. Please keep praying for us. We're praying for this. We're praying for you. We're just trying to all pull together right now, even as it may be very difficult, to keep going forward. We do have some creative things in mind for Christmas Eve. We're right now you have gotten the FM broadcast machine, whatever you call that.
The FM transmitter, and we're trying to put together some sort of outside in-car service, which would be really cool, and we're really excited about planning it, and more details to come.
And part of that is just to have the opportunity to stay in your car on Christmas Eve, but to be able to all be kind of together that way, and at least we can wave to each other and wish each other Merry Christmas. So more details are going to be coming on what we're doing for that. Also, the plan is right now to do a live stream of a Christmas Eve service later in the evening, or not a live, it may be pre-recorded, but a stream that would come into your homes for Christmas Eve night. And like I said, we'll keep examining the information as it comes in. We'll keep trying to make the best decision that we can. And please know, our deep desire is to be able to get together again as soon as possible, as soon as it is safe. So let's all keep praying for that. Let's keep contacting each other, supporting each other, loving each other, praying for each other. And let's keep our focus on Jesus as we try to move forward. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pastor Dan.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tracy,
Yes.
for doing this.